Big updates on the R. Kelly story. He was found guilty just yesterday of serving as the ringleader of a decades-long scheme to recruit women and underage girls for sex. A jury deliberated for 9 hours before convicting the singer of all 9 counts against him, including racketeering and 8 violations of an anti-sex trafficking law known as the Mann Act. Mr. Kelly now faces the possibility of life in prison, although it will take some time to find out exactly how much time he'll be serving. We'll talk more about that later on, but the reaction to this development came fast. Johanna Pace, who was the first accuser to ever testify against him, said, "Today my voice was heard." I can only imagine if you've been fighting this battle publicly or privately for literally decades in some cases, how you must feel as a result of this. Another woman, Stephanie, one of the accusers, told jurors that the singer began sexually abusing her when she was 17 after he told her that he liked, quote, young girls, and that he did not understand why society viewed that as a problem. That, of course, is the bare minimum of what he was doing that is viewed as a problem by society. He's focusing kind of on the wrong parts there. But in any event, we'll go into more details. Waz, this has been developing like our entire lives. What do you think about this?
Yeah, it's crazy that this guy is finally being brought to justice for a lot of this stuff. Shouts out to all the victims and survivors, who came forward and helped make this happen. Those people are brave and deserve some props for having the sort of just the Teflon, to do that. Like it takes a lot of guts to come out and publicly put your name behind an allegation like this. But the stories about R. Kelly have been out there for 30 years now, man. Like literally the guy in the smack dab in the midst of superstardom was cruising the McDonald's next to his old high school, like after school. Those were the hours he liked to go to McDonald's to pick up young girls that were 14, 15 years old, as he was a grown man and basically damn near deity in that city and in those places. So that's the level of predatory behavior we're talking about here, and it just gets worse and worse over the years. And it sucks that so many people have enabled him along the way. But I guess it's cool to finally see him come to justice. I just hope that the survivors of these crimes are able to get the resources and the help that they need to move forward. Because a lot of times I feel like we concentrate on R. Kelly and how punitive these punishments are for the abusers, but oftentimes we don't even think about the people who are actually suffering from these crimes and what it is that's actually being done to make sure that their lives can go on in a meaningful and peaceful way, and that they can get better. So I hope those people are getting the stuff that they need to get better from these crimes.
Yeah, 100%. We unfortunately we don't have much time, but there are statements from many of the people who testified, and it still remains to be seen what the actual punishment ends up being. But the fact that it's acknowledged in this way after the earlier case a number of years ago has gotta feel great, or as great as anything can, considering how disgusting this entire situation is. And it's great to see developments on these things. When things have been brewing for a long time and you finally get a development, it's amazing. Like this, or like earlier this year with Britney Spears finally having Epstein, like these things that have been known about for a long time, but the justice is so slow. It's just amazing to see, like, if you are rich and if you are well connected, it doesn't matter how pervasive, how well known your crimes are, how many victims there are. It'll take years at the very least, if not decades. But if you're a regular person, they'll shoot you on the spot. It's just amazing how, like, you cannot exaggerate how important money is when it comes to our criminal justice system. But at least it looks like in this case they are moving in the right direction. That said, he's going to be sentenced at 10 a.m. May 4th. So it's a long time from now, but faces up to 10 years to life in prison. So May 4th. I mean, we're talking about the better part of a year from now, but at least it's moving in the right direction. Any further thoughts, Wos?
Not really, man. Like these things that he's accused of and been convicted of are so obviously horrific. Like there's no debate here. There's no like, maybe people should be able to hang out with 14-year-olds when they're 28. Like there's no way to argue the other side of it. This is just obviously horrible.
Yeah. 100%. And by the way, there are other court cases in multiple other states, child pornography charges, obstruction charges, and all that. So more developments to come.
Check out the Damage Report podcast each day, wherever you get your podcasts, whether Pocket Casts or Stitcher or iTunes. You can join me as I give you the news and stories you want, with a range of co-hosts and interview guests jumping in on the fun each day. Again, that's the Damage Report, wherever you get your podcasts. And if you get them at iTunes, don't forget to rate and review. Sometimes I'll read them live on the show.